Good morning, our wonderful people. Happy to have you guys here. Can we believe it's the end of the year 2023? We thank you guys, everyone that comes every day to join us and share our information. We thank those that are giving us positive feedback because the work is not easy, but we are not relenting. So we thank you for the word of encouragement that comes along the way. So we appreciate that. Like we always remind you that you are a stakeholder in what we are doing. We are not your ruler, we are not an emperor. We want our people to be well informed so that we can do the job, that is waiting for us to do. So this particular job is not the one that you will run up your way and somebody else will do it. No. Even if you fly to Ijabode, when you come back, it's waiting for you. So the sooner you take off your gowns and your fancy outfit and your earrings, throw them across the street and begin the work, the sooner we'll get home. Or unless if you're willing to run around for 400 years, I'm not. 500 years is enough of the mess. So thank you so much for being part of this journey. Thank you for the work that you're doing on your own. And please, as usual, continue to help us to share, like, subscribe, all those little things that we have to do to ensure that this message get across to our people. You know how they roll. So welcome to the program. Let me allow my sister to introduce herself.
Thank you so much, Sister Mona Chimswaga. Um, my name is Epi, and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you, like my sister has said. You are all welcome to today's episode of Daughters of Truth Talk Show. We appreciate the work you're doing. We appreciate the information going out because more and more we're seeing our people waking up to their responsibilities. And it is because we are working as a team. And please continue to help us to like, subscribe, follow. And on YouTube, hit the notification bell so that once we start chunking out our videos, you get it. One of our daddy in the Lord, he said, Daughters of Truth, that our videos are, he said omnipresent or something. It's like, if you turn this side, you see it. If you turn this side, you see it. It's because our people are working and sharing. So information must get out to our people. Let me keep quiet and join us to share too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I can't find the video. It looks like they're blocking it. So if anybody has it, um, send it to me so I can begin to share. So while we are doing that, we will have our video on. The video of the day because we don't have time. We're trying to maximize our time with you as we are reaching out to our loved ones, telling them to come listen to this information. We are also getting educated as well. Um, thank you for joining. The fake book. The fake book, man. There's something else.
In the first part of this broadcast, we had indicated that we were going to tell our people exactly what to do to put guns in the hands of those who are being invaded with AK-47 bearing Fulani militia and with the complicity and facilitation of our government and its military. Let us cast our mind back to how we got to where things are now. We remember that when the Buhari government tried the first made the first attempt in the National Assembly to pass the grazing reserve law, some kind of law that will create Ruga, Fulani settlement, Fulani colony all over Nigeria. It was blocked. After a while, they brought the same bill back under another cover to say grazing roads. Oh, there were roads before independence, all that. It didn't work. Then they came back, say, oh, Ruga. It didn't work. National livestock, which they sent Osinbajo to go to lunch. National livestock, whatever. Just something that will demarcate lands that Fulani cows, Fulani and their cow, could live on outside the laws that prevail, outside the current laws. And so they tried all kinds of things, even the waterway bills by which they want to take over body of waters and all the adjoining lands throughout the country. None of those things worked. Somewhere along the line, Buhari attempted to resort to executive fiat. So by executive order, he said they should bring to him the file of all the grazing reserve so that without recourse to National Assembly, they will mark out those, lands, vast, swaths of land across the land. Of course, the people were already too alert to allow that to happen, because they actually went to some places to try to set up, having marked out on their papers where the lands would be. I remember they went to Benue and people came to chase them out of their lands, because under the Land Use Act, all lands vest, title to all lands vest in governors. The federal government of Nigeria does not have 1 square inch of land. The federal government of Nigeria does not have 1 square inch of land. All title to all lands vest in governors. Even the Federal Capital Territory is neither here nor there, because by the time we settle the larger question, the indigents of that Federal Capital Territory will be the one to decide who owns their land, except they give it up. The same thing that happened to everything done by decree since 1966 will happen to the title deed over the Federal Capital Territory land that the so-called federal government is holding. So back to the matter of where the Fulani marauders are currently operating from. Buhari then resorted to something worse. He sent out a signal. He sent out an order as commander-in-chief. There's the office of the president. There's also the office of the commander-in-chief. Most of our people do not know the difference. There are things your president can do as president. There are other things he does as commander-in-chief. As commander-in-chief, he then issued instruction to all the military locations that the lands behind their, barracks and battalions and cantonments, wherever the military is stationed, that has land behind. Normally, they will have some bush behind the barracks where they do trainings or shooting range or all kinds of bush exercise in most of the military facilities. He then said that the Fulani herdsmen who are already here with their cows, who have been more or less challenged as they go about destroying people's farms, that those bushes directly at the back of those military facilities should be made available to the Fulani and their cows until the settlements are otherwise created by law. So since it is a military matter, they didn't need to talk to anybody else. So the barracks were all thrown open. The bushes behind them received all the cows. And in the process, people inside, the officers from that part, from the Sharia belt in the barracks, were now in direct, residential arrangement with the Fulani, who then keep their cows in those bushes. So those lands immediately behind the barracks became the first set of rugas across the country. will remember the incident in Okitipupa, where 31 buses or so came with people in broad daylight, young people, and the community people were, they became curious. They wanted to know where these ones were going. They headed to the barrack in the place, to the military facility in the place. The people at the gate probably didn't get their instructions in good time. And in that process of stopping them, the community people came there to ask their questions. And it turned out the people said they had just finished some training somewhere that they were to, it turned out to be Fulani men who were coming to be discharged in that number into that military facility.
Okay.
Eventually, instruction came while they were in that debate, and they were received inside the place. And later, the reason the community chased after them was because there had been previous batches of people who were brought like that and who ended up, and they noticed increased activities from the area behind the barrack in terms of where the herdsmen go back to, So as it is in Okitipupa, so it is in Ohafia, so it is in all the places that, whether you went to Abeokuta, whether you went to Ibadan, everywhere the military facilities are, the Fulani were given authority to keep their cows and operate from those. So police, when they cause damage to you, which police are you going to tell that, the Fulani herdsmen that are operating from military barracks? They've even gone ahead to give them some kind of identity cards in all those locations where they are operating from. And so we come back to what do we do right now to put guns in the hands of the people who are being tormented, who are being invaded. The constitutional force majeure that we activated on the 16th of December in 2020 has gone through the implementation phases that involved enlightenment and mobilization, going towards enforcement now. And we have come to where we must activate the armed self-defense component of the self-determination that is being asserted. And how will it go? How was it designed to go? How can it go now? The governors will remember that on the 17th of April in 2021, after the 90 days had lapsed, the 90 days notice we gave to the federal government to come to the discussion of this union dispute raised. It lapsed on the 16th of March. So by the 17th, we then invited the governors to come in 30 days that followed to the discussion, because the federal government is on one side. The governors will either be on the side of their people in this debate or cling with the side of the enemy holding that constitution as sacrosanct. The people have repudiated this constitution. I'm sure we remember by Solomon Assembly in Port Harcourt, 27 April 2015, the peoples of the lower Niger, that's the South and Southeast, or the old Midwestern region and Eastern region, the nationalities spread across those 11 states of now, had gathered as ethnic nations in Port Harcourt to repudiate that constitution to the hearing of the whole world. On the 7th of September in 2017, the Yoruba did a similar thing. Yoruba Solemn Assembly at Adamasingba Stadium in Ibadan. Their governors were all present. Their traditional rulers were present, including the Oni, and all kinds of their political leaders, repudiating that constitution as basis of union for them. On the 18th of July in 2018, the Middle Belt did likewise. And so, having all repudiated that constitution, it is that constitution by its exclusive list that sequestered the control of arms to the government, federal government. It is that constitution that forbids the states from touching arms or ammunition. Is that constitution that put police and other security, army, and all the other things in between in the hands of the federal government exclusively. And so the peoples of the land, the indigenous nationalities of Nigeria, in exercise of their sovereignty, have repudiated the constitution by which their sovereignty is confiscated and detained, by which they are exposed to this kind of danger of being killed because there's some federal government that has exclusive control over guns. And so on the 17th of April 2021, NINAS then invited the governors to specific actions they must take after the 30-day consultation. Those actions, boil down to going to send bills to the state assembly, their state assemblies, because they have to be either on the side of their people who are being invaded and killed, or on the side of the enemy that is hanging onto that constitution as basis of union. There are people who have rejected that constitution, that tied their hands and removed guns from their hands. So the governors were invited to now step up to fill the gap. The federal government, the complicity of the federal government is no longer in dispute. Danjuma told us in 2018, in March 2018, that the government of Nigeria was complicit in the invasion that was going on, that people should get ready to defend themselves. Again, we had the privilege of going to Washington to share with those who are fighting with ISIS, to say that ISIS is now in our sub-region. In fact, headquartered in our country, and that our president and commander-in-chief seem to be their chief host. Of course, things have happened to show abundantly that there's complicity. Otherwise, who pulled out the soldiers that were guarding Kuje prison 24 hours before this last assault? What was it, the terror, the demand of the terror attack, the people that attacked the train between Kaduna and Abuja? What were they? What was it they were saying about some promise that was made to them that must be fulfilled concerning land and all kinds of other things? So it's no longer in doubt that there's complicity of the government of Nigeria and its armed forces, organized by the Fulani, controlled by the Fulani exclusively. And so the governors were invited to send bills. In the last broadcast, we said, if our people will listen to us now, we will tell them what to do to put guns in the hands of those who have been invaded legitimately. The governors must now, this is now marching order from the owners of the sovereignty. The governors must now step into that role of filling the gap, since the federal government is not coming to defend them. Rather, the federal government is complicit in the attack. The governors must now do like Samuel Otom did, taking to the same advice, to send bills to the state assemblies. Let those state assemblies pass the bills. Let the governors sign the bills into law to issue firearms to agencies they are going to create to defend their people. It's not enough to say the people should go and defend themselves.
Of course, it's not enough to say that people will go and defend themselves. This is the the situation that we find ourselves in. When people create a narrative and then they want it to keep on dragging on. You don't have an answer to the problems that are facing our people. You don't have even the slightest idea on how to solve the problem. But you're the governor, you're the local chairman, you leave your job and you're hanging somewhere in another country for another 6 months, and you're supposed to be a local chairman personnel. This is the situation that we find ourselves in. And it's sad because today is right with our topic. There's lots of distractions. The puppets, I don't even know have words for them. They have taken over our space. And either they are working for their colonial masters and they're working for themselves, because for now, we see that no one is working for us. So it goes along with our topic today that says, stop the distractions and pay close attention. Stop the distractions and pay close attention. As you can see, this video was done last year, giving directives to the governors on what to do to make our space safe, to make our environment safe. Did they hear it? No. They were busy trying to take money and run for elections and do all kinds of stuff. And now people are rushing back from the villages back to Abuja because our space is no longer safe. Nowhere is safe. You run to Abuja, they are coming for you. It's just a matter of time. And it's heartbreaking that people that call themselves thought leaders, think tanks, men and women, we are watching all these things happening. Nobody wants to go and sincerely seek for solution to all of this. It's either you guys are faking it, pretending, wishing, oh yeah, if I make biggest noise for the Christmas party, if I turn on generators and give Umu boys some money, if I'm the car dealership, the only car dealership in the Eastern region, and I'm having a wedding, I will hire all the armies and pay off the crooks. What about my people? What about the widows? What about the children that don't have anyone protecting them? What about the other citizens? How long do you guys think you can carry on with this mess? How long do you think you can be walking around with 50 armies? Very soon it will be 1 million armies. It will not be enough. It will not be enough to protect you. What is wrong with creating a sustainable society that will accommodate everybody and we work at our own pace in a safe environment? You guys been building this thing up, right? We started with 419. We saw it happening. And then we started with so many churches everywhere. We saw it happening. We saw our industries close. The beer, golden something beer, no my was closed. Everything closed. You were watching it. They were closing. People that are some of the people that were stealing money from there, every one of you knew them. And we watch our place going down. We watch them close down our schools for months and won't pay the teachers. We watch our children that are their brain in our knuckle. We watch them sit at home and do nothing. We watch all of this. What do? We begin to pray, begin to worship, begin to empower the criminals that are doing all of this. Nobody paid close attention to see what is going on. And now we are all in a dire situation. Do you have a template to solve this problem? No. Are you going to start looking for the templates on how we're going to solve this problem? No, because when I look, I'm not going to look at it. Okay, fine. Do you have yours that we can follow? No. So your only solution is to watch my people die. And you think that's good enough? Not under our watch.